Mike's first New Edge Mustang was a 2004 Competition Orange Mach 1 Mustang. This is a very cool car, very desirable. He had it for a little while, but something interesting was when he had this at the same time, if you look in the background there, you'll see a GT. His brother had this 2004 Competition Orange Mustang GT. They had these cars at the same time for a little while. Previously, his brother had a 98 GT, and he had sold that in 2006 to buy this '04 GT. And Mike loved the car, and he always wanted to end up with it eventually, and he did. So here are some of the pictures of the car early on when it still had the bullet wheels on it. I think it looked really good in these pictures. A New Edge Mustang GT, especially Competition Orange, is an awesome car to have. It's a really fun, good driving car, especially to daily drive and put some miles on. If you notice in these pictures, you'll see some of the modifications that have been done to the car. He has a couple different sets of wheels. These are some Saline style wheels and some black bullet wheels with a deep lip on them. They look pretty good. The headlights have the clear corners on them. Here's another picture with the black deep dish bullet wheels and no spoiler. Here's a picture of the car with the Saline wheels and with the spoiler and the black hood scoop. The front bumper on this car is very distinct. When I see these pictures on Instagram, I immediately know what car it is. So his brother had done this to the front where the license plate goes. He drilled a bunch of holes in it. He said he had seen it in a magazine and thought it looked cool, so he had done it to his car. Mike says he doesn't really care for it, and you'll see in later pictures like this one that he has a nice GT license plate that goes over them. If you look closely at the car too, you'll notice he's changed a lot of things on it. You'll notice in this picture that he has the 40th anniversary pony in the grill, and in this one he has an orange pony in the grill. Things have been changed around back and forth on the car a lot. This is a nice picture that really emphasizes the yellow on the fog lights. He has one of the newer splitters on the front. Looking at the back of the car, you'll notice that the taillights are not just tinted. They actually have a honeycomb pattern on the taillights and some bezels. He said he got the bezels from American Muscle, and as he recalls, the honeycomb decals were just stickers that he had got on eBay or something. He also has the honeycomb deck lid panel, which covers the back of the trunk lid. This was first introduced on the 99 35th anniversary GT package, and it looks really good with the orange, the black and the orange contrast. So the back of the car has the black on the bottom of the bumper, the tinted taillights, and the honeycomb panel. He has deep dish wheels on the front of the car, which is something that you see on American Muscle advertisements all the time. So deep dish wheels all around, but like he said, he changes to the Salines back and forth, and so switching up wheels is always fun because it's something that changes the whole look of the car. There's another picture of those clear corner headlights and the yellow fog lights, and another picture where you can see that bumper really good with the holes in it. And so these are just some cool pictures he has of the car. He painted the roof and the hood scoop black. As far as the modifications go to the car, he has 410 gears, underdrive pulleys, SCT custom tune, JLT ram air intake, 80mm throttle body, plenum, spacer, performance coil packs and spark plugs, X-pipe with SLP loudmouth 1s, which sounds so good on the 2-valve Mustangs and the 4-valve Mustangs, of course. And he also has a MGW short throw shifter. The bezel is painted black, and funny enough, I have noticed that the traction control, the fog light, and the rear defrost buttons are all in different places than where they should be. So that's obviously been changed around as he has played with this and put it together. That's just kind of a funny side note. Here's the interior of the car. It looks really clean. He had painted the Mustang cursive writing on the dash orange. I think a lot of people always look at that and think that it needs to be a different color. And here are some overall more pictures of the car with the different setups with the grill badge and the just driving it around and enjoying it at night. Here he's loading a SCT tune on the car in this picture, and here's a little burnout on, I believe this was New Year's. You can see the fireworks going off in the background. So he had some exhaust work done on the car, said he had some little pinhole leaks and things, and he was having an issue that he messaged me about on Instagram where it sounded like something was wrong with the exhaust. And he did something that he saw on YouTube where he shot soapy water into one side of the exhaust and then he put a latex glove over the other exhaust pipe and ran the car to see if he can find where little holes were, where little leaks were bubbling out. And he did find quite a few of them. But the sound that he was hearing wasn't from little holes in the exhaust. And he had sent me a video of it, and it was really hard to hear in the video what was wrong with the car. It's hard to diagnose a sound over a video sometimes. And in the video, it sounds like a pretty bad noise, almost like a knock. So I was afraid that he was going to have a knocking noise. Here's the video he sent. So that rattling, tapping noise, it sounded like it could have been a spun bearing. I was thinking maybe it was something that bad. Hopefully it wasn't something terrible. It's also possible that the spark plug could have been shot out of the head. If you don't have the spark plugs torqued down, they have a tendency of getting blown out of the cylinder head. And so that's something that happens a lot with the Cobras and the Mach 1s especially. They have less spark plug threads per spark plug if they're the earlier 03s, and also with the two valves that's known to happen. So everybody make sure that your spark plugs are torqued down. Now this wasn't the spark plug in his case, which is a good thing because he wouldn't have to go get a helicoil and have that repaired. So that sound sometimes people think is valve lashes or something in the valve train. Sometimes even tensioner guides or problems with the timing chains. Like I said, it's real hard to diagnose a sound in a video when you can't walk around and listen to different parts of the car. It turned out that he went to a mechanic and had him look over the car, and he said, no, it's nothing from the engine, but it was a bad coil pack. So he was having a really bad misfire, and it was making that noise. I've never heard a misfire sound that terrible, but it was pretty bad. So that coil pack must have been totally gone. Usually coil packs, they start to go out, they have little issues, little intermittent misfires and stuff, but that was actually a pretty bad one. So luckily that's all it was. Then another time he contacted me and said, hey dude, I'm at a total loss. I replaced my alternator, I replaced the starter, I replaced the battery, and my car will not start. It just clicks. It just clicks. And I was worried that when that happens with a new starter, new battery, new everything, that the engine was locked up. And so I was hoping the engine wasn't locked up. And the biggest problem with this was he had replaced what was wrong with the car with those three things, but one of the parts he replaced was a bad part. And there's nothing like chasing your tail when you put new parts on a car and you don't know that one of those new parts is bad. And what it happened to be, it was an issue with a brand new starter. The starter was bad, so the starter was binding up and it wasn't starting the car. So luckily he got that resolved too. So now the car runs great, and as you can see, it looks beautiful. You can see in this picture he has added some orange straps. Those are the metal straps that hold the gas tank up. And in this picture you can see the exhaust looks really good. I love the dual exhaust on a New Edge GT or Mach 1 or Cobra that has the cutouts in the bumper. It looks so good underneath there. A couple other little details I've noticed while looking through the pictures of the car is at one time he had the 40th anniversary badge on there, perhaps plasti dipped or painted with orange lettering, and the Mustang cursive that you find on the dash is on the door. Mustang Mach 1s say Mach 1 right there on the striping, and some V6 Mustangs say Mustang right there. So that looks actually kind of interesting. And then in the other picture you can see that he's gone to the 05 plus Mustang GT badge, 05 to 08 I'll say, because 09 had a 45th anniversary badge. So that looks like the 05 to 08 Mustang GT badge on the side. So anyway, Really cool story. This is a really nice competition orange Mustang GT. Mike says that he wants to restore or refurbish the car inside and out and give it to his oldest son as a graduation present. So this car has been in his family and it's going to remain in his family, and I think it's a really neat thing. He also likes GT500s and Terminators, and there are a couple cars he showed me that he really likes, and he would like to get one of those eventually. But this is a really good car to have in the meantime. It's a great daily driver. It's a really awesome rare car, and I really hope you enjoyed watching the story. It's fun to follow him on Instagram and see the car very often. We actually met a while ago on Instagram, and then he got rid of that Instagram account, and then he had created a new one, and he contacted me and said, hey, I want you to do a story on my car. You know, I'm really excited to be back on Instagram and see your cars again. And he told me that he shows pictures of my cars to his wife and his kids, and he shows them my collection and says that one day he'd like to have a lineup and, you know, get a whole bunch of different Mustangs like I have. And so that's really nice of him. And so now he has a new Instagram account, and I'm able to keep more in contact with him and see pictures of the car more and everything. So thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this story. I appreciate all your nice comments and likes on the videos and all the things that you do to support the channel. Remember to subscribe if you're not already on here with us, and stay tuned for more of these Mustang stories.